Dear listeners, just when you thought that it couldn't get any worse, it's about to get funnier. Sincerely Tactless. Welcome to episode 4 of Sincerely Tactless, where we talk about dating relationships because someone asked to.
I'm Sasha. I'm a girl with a warm heart, and I'm already sick of your shit. Yay! So don't try me. But I still love you.
I'm Tony. I'm a frustrated musician who will tell you to your face, being a dog mom is not a thing.
And I'm Lizzie, the tangy Lady Marmalade who holds this turd sandwich together. We're just 3 friends answering questions about relationships on a podcast, even if we are wildly unqualified. Let's get to it.
You guys ready for action over here?
Yeah.
All right, so starts off, I've been divorced for 5 years, raised a wonderful daughter who is in her 4th year of college, and started dating a wonderful man 1 year ago. Things were going great for me, my daughter, and my relationship with Tim. Tim's in quotes, so maybe his name's been changed to protect his innocence. We can only assume. Tim and I were set up by a mutual friend who's a professor at the college my daughter attends. Ooh, it's already getting murky over here. My daughter took a class from him last year on my suggestion. While in that class, she met and started dating a fellow classmate who decided to take the class because of a suggestion from his father. Yep, you guessed it. My daughter and I are dating a father and son. I feel like I am in a horribly written daytime soap opera, as you should. My daughter had met my boyfriend early in our relationship, but was only just recently invited to meet her boyfriend's father. He's a widower of 10 years. She was in shock when she realized it was the same man, and I still am after finding out. I guess the question is what to do. Continue with our relationships? I feel like all 4 of us are getting serious. This sounds like an episode of Maury or something.
Big time.
Guiding light, you remember?
Plus, what are the odds, right? That they would be dating father and son. That's just so weird to me. Because if they get married, then she's going to be dating her stepbrother. We don't want that to happen.
What a mess. I don't think any relationship is worth that awkwardness.
I don't think so either.
I don't think I could continue. If my daughter wanted to, I'd be like, yeah, sure. I mean, it'd still be weird that at one point you were together, but I wouldn't be able to continue just personally. It would just be too strange.
Yep, I'm with you.
Agreed.
I'll take this a step further and really upset a lot of people who love Disney movies and stuff. I don't really believe that there's like that one person out there for you, and that's it. So you can't have that argument that, these just happen to be the right people for both of them, because this situation shows that it's not. Like, this isn't going to end well. I don't think in any world this is going to end well.
Yeah, I mean, if we were talking like they were like the mother was 70 and the daughter was 50, maybe it wouldn't make such a big difference, but it's still a possibility that the daughter could live like back home again, kind of a thing. Yeah, that'd be too weird.
Yeah, that'd be really weird.
Too weird.
Yeah, I just can't wrap my head around it, honestly. It's just too much. Like, I couldn't feel uncomfortable like that for the rest of my life. It would not work. I could not get past it. I already know the way that I am.
All right, agreed. Shut it down.
It's hard to say because everyone is different, but I don't know. It's just so bizarre. I feel bad. I don't want to be a love hater, but yeah, it just doesn't sound like a healthy situation.
Strangely enough, we do call you the love hater. So yeah.
Only behind your back.
Yeah.
Until today.
That is on my vanity plate on my car.
Love hater.
Okay, with the number 8, like that.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna get so much mileage out of that one now. Sorry.
You're just a love hater.
It's just how I roll, I guess. You get burned and then you just hate it. Just kidding. I really don't. Just in this particular situation, apparently I do.
This is a terrible situation that they need to shut down. Unless they're going to end up on Maury or Jerry Springer or something.
Oh, yeah.
Is Jerry Springer still on TV?
One of them
is Maury still on TV?
And Maury isn't. No, I think, isn't it Steve Wilco doing it now instead?
I don't know.
From Springer?
I feel like I may have dated myself just now.
No, joke. I know. All those
gosh.
summers home in the 90s watching trash TV.
Oh, I made a reference the other day to the old stuffed crust commercials where they eat the pizza backwards. And the person that I was talking to about it never saw him. Made me feel super old.
Wow. You know what's funny is I was at work one time and these girls were laughing like Beavis and Butthead. I can't do it, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, Beavis and Butthead. And they thought I was insulting them because they had no idea what I was talking about. They didn't know who they were.
Oh, sad.
Awkward.
Gonna have to go check into retirement home pretty soon.
I know, it's getting pretty bad. Sasha, I have a short question for you. If you would like to read it.
Oh, okay. You had mercy on me this time. Okay. This one says, female in my mid-20s here. When it comes to dating and relationships today, what is it that men bring to the table?
First of all, ouch.
Pretty
Good
pointed.
Lord. You have that attitude. I'm not bringing anything to your table. Jeez.
I was about to ask you what your perspective on this. It seems a little bit like, she answered her own question in her mind, like obviously nothing,
What do men even do for us anymore? I don't know what to say to that. Somebody else stop me before I just go off the handle here.
Okay, I can say something. I mean, it's just about companionship now. And you think about it, you want somebody that compliments you, right? I mean, that maybe likes to cook if you don't like to cook, or, is a really good rock climber and you like to go rock climbing. I mean, it's about companionship and it's about, adding to each other's lives.
Yeah, I think we need to kind of get away from that. A man's going to save you and provide for you and, be your all in all and everything. And I think I agree with what you said about it being a companionship and someone that can add to you and support you as a partner, and not someone that is going to rule over you and buy you things and, someone that you need in your life, I guess, which could be kind of, I don't know, not what people would agree with, but I don't think you should need anybody really. Like, you should want to have that person in your life, but you should be okay on your own to be able to be independent still.
Virtual high five on that one.
For real.
That may not be a popular answer, and I think men can offer a lot and they can give us a different perspective in situations. They can give us support, they can fix things around the house for you if that's what you want, or, if you need help with something, they can be there just like you can be there for them. So I don't think it's this like picture that we see of like, that 50s housewife who needs to get a man and she'll just stay home all day. And, if you do that, then good for you. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But I mean, this person's perspective, it sounds like very feminist and like, I don't even need a man. And you know what? You don't need a man in your life. You can be successful on your own. But there's a saying that, two cords are stronger than one. And like, when you fall, to have somebody help you back up is a good thing. And it's not a bad thing. So even if you just see it from that perspective, that's what they can bring to you, is that support.
That was well said. I like it.
Yes, bravo.
That's from the LuvH8tr.
Yeah, LuvH8tr.
LuvH8tr. Deemed yourself a little bit there.
This episode is brought to you by the LuvH8tr.
I should get a vanity plate with that. That would be so funny. Oh my God. People would be like, what is wrong with you?
It's a divorce lawyer.
Everybody I see in relationships, I hate them. All of them.
Hate them all.
All right. My best friend and her husband are separated. She left him and started dating someone else. One thing led to another, and now I have started seeing her husband regularly. Yikes. I am beginning to fall in love with him. I don't know whether I should tell her or he should tell her, I don't want her to be upset, but this connection was out of our control and we want to see this through. Do you think that I will lose my best friend if I pursue this relationship? Oh, heck yes, you will lose your best friend. It is just not, this is untenable. This is like the worst thing ever. I'm sorry. Not great. And yes, you need to tell her like ASAP, because if she finds out in a different way, she is going to flip and you will be on Mari or whatever the current trash TV show is where they throw chairs at each other.
Yeah, and this goes back to what I was saying before too. Like, don't play that card where, oh, we didn't mean for it to happen and we just fell in love with each other. It's like, nope, you should have stayed the hell away from him from the beginning, because that's your best friend's ex-husband, and this is not going to end well in any way either. You're going to lose your best friend. If you and this guy end up breaking up further down the road, then you're going to lose both of them anyway, which, who knows what's going to happen further on down the road. But I mean, look at it that way. That's just, plus it kind of makes you look like a little bit of a floozy, because it's supposed to be your best friend and you're hanging out with her ex-husband now. All of a sudden you fell in love. Like, is going to raise a lot of questions for her. She's be like, well, what about when we were together? Were you looking at him like, hey, what's up, boy, or what? Right? That's just going to be a mess. And if she's asking, don't pursue the relationship. Don't do it.
You couldn't find one other guy. That's the guy that it's like, and then it's funny.
Be an adult and cut it off. One.
It's interesting how she tries to like justify it, because she starts off by saying she left him and started dating someone else. Like, oh, look, she's the one. Like, it's not his fault that, and then it's like one thing led to another. It's like the yada, yada, yada in Seinfeld, it's like, let's just get past all of this stuff. And it does seem like she was into him before, and now she like took advantage of the situation. I don't know if I'm reading too far into this, but that's the vibe that I'm getting. And yes, it's a very bad decision. Even if they're broken up and they're fine and they say that it's okay, I would never do that to somebody, and I would never respect someone for doing that to me. So I just think it's inappropriate, and it shows a lack of concern for her friend. Maybe the husband is in a vulnerable place and he's like, oh yeah, someone's paying attention to me and someone finds me desirable, and so he's all about it. But it's so inappropriate, and he's probably not even in the right frame of mind to make a decision like that responsibly. So
convenience and opportunity, right? Those are not great foundations for a relationship at all.
Well, and there's also the element of, we don't know this guy. What if he's just straight up doing this to get back at her because she left him to date somebody else?
Ooh, yeah.
What if he's not really in love with this girl and he's just like, I'm just going to play her best friend, just kind of like a big middle finger, like, hey, look what I did now. That's possibility
like the ultimate
too.
Payback.
Yeah. And then this girl thinks they have a connection and that they're falling in love. And what if he's just like, and I'm not saying that, he's a total tool bag. He could just be vulnerable and she was there. It could be a lot of things, but at the end of the day, none of them are good things. None of them are sustainable in a relationship. I mean, that's, even if they're doing the like, oh, it's forbidden because, you're friends with my ex or whatever. That's a really terrible way to start a relationship. You just shouldn't go there. You should be mature enough to understand that's not a place you should go.
There's also the M word that's still in there. They are still married, regardless of whether they're separated.
That's true. She did say separated, not divorced, huh?
Yeah. I mean, basically, this is the rebound chick, too.
Yep.
Not fabulous.
Yeah, it's just bad on all sides there.
Dating questions are not as fun, are they?
No, it's just interesting when you're in the middle of it and you have emotions involved and invested. That's when it totally clouds your judgment. I've been there myself, and I can see what's wrong with this, but when you're the one in it, it's completely different for you. It's just like, well, this is how I feel, so this is what I'm doing. Like there was a point when she said this connection was out of our control. Your connection is always in your control. It should be. You should never say, otherwise everyone would just cheat on everyone. You'd be like, well, I'm attracted to Tom Hardy today, so I'm going to go with him. And, it's like, well, that's out of my control. Whoops, sorry. I don't know. I think there should be a little bit more accountability and responsibility there.
Yeah, absolutely. Should have more self-control if you're an adult. Come on.
I agree.
Agreed. Yeah, and I mean that emotion's gonna fade. What is the relationship gonna be built on after that point? After
Yeah.
I'm assuming they're sleeping together, and it's hot and heavy or whatever you want to
That's
call
what
it.
the yada 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 is all about.
Yeah.
One thing led to another.
Mm-hmm.
We all know what that means.
We know what that means. You left out the best part. No, I mentioned the bisque.
Ooh.
I need to watch that again.
That's pretty gross, though. I wouldn't want to kiss a guy that my best friend was kissing or sleep with him.
No,
Ugh.
yuck. No, thank you.
I'm good.
Yeah, nothing in the family or close friends. I'm sorry. No, thank you.
Mm-mm.
Am I taking this next one?
You're up.
We got another short one here. I'm a 25-year-old male who doesn't drive. Is this going to hurt my dating life? First of all, I think the biggest question is, where do you live? Because there's a
Good
lot
point.
of big cities that people just don't drive, and it doesn't matter. Like if you live downtown New York or Chicago or something where everybody uses buses and trains, then who cares, right? If you're living somewhere where you got to have a car to get around, it's going to hurt your dating life because no girl is going to be cool with you just bumming rides or Ubering all the time or whatever,
She'll have to pick him up.
Yeah. Hope she has a big trunk because he's going to put his bike in it. Right? Sorry, it just reminded me of 40-year-old virgin because he didn't drive. He had a bike. Anyway, I think that's the biggest thing is like where this person is, because some cities just doesn't make sense to drive depending on where you live or whatever. But if it's like most cities in America where you got to have a car, then yeah, I think it will. I mean, how are you gonna go on dates with somebody and do a whole lot of anything if you're not driving? Like, where are you gonna take her out to dinner and then catch Ubers and stuff? I don't know. Just kind of takes the vibe out of dating, I guess, a little bit. But I guess it's also one way to see if a girl really likes you for you and not your car, right? But I think bottom line, you should have your own wheels. You're 25.
It just sounds like, I mean, this is probably prejudging, but it just sounds like a really immature person. Like, why aren't you driving? Like, are you scared or do you not have money to get a car? I don't know. But it just sounds like a very childish man boy. And I would never be interested in someone like that. So maybe I'm just, hating all over everything today, but I don't know.
The love
I
hater
think that
strikes
would,
again.
I just think that would hurt his dating life. And I don't understand why he wouldn't be driving at 25. Like you're, 16, 17, whatever, but you're out of college already. Likely. I don't know. Is your girlfriend gonna have to pick you up and are you gonna take the bus? I don't know.
Did you get a DWI and that's why you don't drive?
Or that.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point. Yeah, why is it that you don't drive?
That's another question too.
Yeah.
Is it, I mean, if you're just like not interested, that's something.
Yeah.
But you should at least like kind of odd.
Yeah. At that age. Like are they special needs? It could be a lot of different things.
Yeah.
There's just no reasoning why. Like that would be, I could understand that. If you're special needs, it's probably overwhelming to drive, probably really stressful. I had a coworker whose son got into like 3 car accidents. He was special needs. I don't know why they kept buying him cars, but they did. He was just too stressed out.
And yeah, if he is special needs, then he needs a special girlfriend and she would understand, right? I mean, that bottom line.
Exactly.
But if not, and you just like taking advantage of people to give you rides or making your mom take you on dates.
Oh gosh.
Please don't. Please don't. Yeah, go to driving school. They're not too expensive anymore, are they?
I don't think so. I don't even know that a lot of places require that you even go, especially if you're that old. Like if you're past 18, might be able to get away with, having somebody show them. Looking at it this way, take dating out of the picture. Being able to drive is a big thing. I mean, it's a great skill that you're going to be able to use, It's some big cities I get people don't like to drive or they don't drive, but you should at least know how. Like you should have that skill set. You should be able to drive and have a license to drive at least even if you're not going to do it often, you know, in the event that you want to go on a trip and rent a car, what do? Right? What do you do if you fly to Hawaii and you want to rent a car and drive around or whatever? What do? You just have to take cabs and stuff. Like,
Yeah, I know. Thinking too, what if it's an emergency situation and you're with somebody that
yeah,
needs you to drive them somewhere?
yeah. I mean, America's a very car heavy country. I mean, most people have access to more than one car, and it's a big freaking country. People drive all over the place. It is, I think it's one of those skills that everybody should really have. Plus, it's fun. So there's that.
Yeah, it can be really good therapy when you're having a bad day. Just to get on the road, put on some music.
Roll the windows down.
Yep.
Get some bugs in your face.
Yeah. All right, Love Hater. I got another one for you.
Love Hater. You get your own theme song now.
I've been there. The guy who asked me out was an hour late to our first date. Should I dump him or give him a second chance? I'll tell you what I did. After like half an hour, I just left. And I was like, whatever. And he's like, hey, do you want to get together? And I was like, nope, I'm good. You don't respect me that much. That's the first impression that you get from a person. Maybe I just like, I don't know if my fuse is just much shorter than it used to be. I probably would have given him another chance, you know, the old me. But now they're putting their best foot forward in the beginning. If that's the best he's got, I'm not about any of that. Maybe that's a bit harsh, but I'm dropping it today. I'm letting it all out today. But that was my logic, was like, if he can't respect me enough to, you know, make this happen and go out of his way to meet with me, like, I'm not a priority now, and I'm not going to be a priority in 10 years or whatever your end game is. So I just figured I would, you know, shoot for better, because you deserve better than that. You know, if somebody died in the family or there's some crazy thing that happened, yeah, you know, of course. But if it's just some good excuse like, oh yeah, I was running late, or oh yeah, I got distracted, you know, it's like, well, obviously you're not that important to him. So you can do a lot better than that. Anyways.
It's your dose of love hate.
Yeah, exactly.
Good Lord. No, and I'm thinking like he better can show up with like blood on his pants from delivering a baby, or grease from like changing a tire. Like, I need to see that this is legit reason to show up an hour late, because that's a lot of time.
That's really long time to be late.
That is.
Yeah.
I would not wait an hour.
Saving a puppy from a waterfall or something. I mean, yeah, I need to see evidence and like be on the news that night. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and for me too, like it's a character thing. Like if I say that I'm going to be somewhere at a specific time, you know, I'll give people a little bit of leeway, but an hour late and there's no like legitimate excuse, no, you don't want to be with somebody like that. Obviously they don't have their crap together. You know, that's how I would look at it. Like if you can't keep track of time to be somewhere when you said you're going to be there, that's a small thing. You obviously aren't going to be good with anything bigger than that either. And that's just kind of the way I see that kind of stuff. And I get like traffic or whatever, maybe if they're 5 minutes late or 10 minutes late, an hour is just a hell of a long time.
It just seems really disrespectful of their time. You know, like,
yeah,
you don't respect them at all if you're going to be that late and you're just like, whatever. And then they're like, oh, should I give him another chance?
No.
I think this person needs to get a little bit more self-confidence and feel their self-worth a little bit more.
Good call.
That's the love part of it. See, I dished out some love too.
There you go.
That's good. Yeah. And he's not going to learn his lesson if you don't hold him accountable.
He set a precedent already too.
Yeah. Like that's your
step on you and you're going to still be okay. And you don't want to start it off like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to get better from there.
No. And I think that's my logic too, is like this is like the first way you're going to show me your character and what you're about. And you're just going to like totally drop the ball. Like it's like what you're saying, it's never going to get better. That's going to be them. That's the best they got. Whenever you first meet someone and you start dating, you're extra nice, you know, you're trying to feel them out, you try to be considerate, you know, all that, your craziness comes out later, but like, it's not good. If that's his attitude, like, Oh no, I don't have time for that.
A little more love, little less hate. That's all we're asking.
If only it was that easy. Just kidding.
Never is.
No.
Well, and you get better quality dudes when you have higher standards. You don't want this guy, or unless he's like I said, an ER doctor, and he was saving someone's life or something. I'll give him a free pass.
That's different.
I totally would.
That's the exception, not the rule, though.
Oh no,
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
doubting that this is the case.
Yeah, exactly.
We've seen too many rom-coms, I think, where, there's always a good reason why the guy did so-and-so and did whatever he did. Not like that, but you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, there's a reason why he was later. There's a reason why. It was just a misunderstanding. I'm in those movies where there's always a situation like that, and then they have to come back together at the end and they apologize. And that's such crap. We need to stop living in that world. Like, this is reality, and some guys are just losers.
They are, and they don't deserve you. So yeah.
Exactly.
Ain't no lie, baby.
Exactly.
Whose question is this one?
You.
I'm up. It's all me.
Do it to it.
All right, here we go. My just turned 18-year-old son recently told me he has his first girlfriend and that he's in love. Aren't we all? He said she is older than he is. Turns out his new love is a year older than me. She isn't his teacher or anything, and they appear to be genuinely in love. What do I do? First of all, odd situation, odd wording in your first sentence, but we'll get past that right now. Weirded me out. Seriously, first girlfriend, everybody's in love with their first girlfriend. It's just, yeah. The fact that he's 18 and has a first girlfriend, that's sketchy territory, because now he's old enough to do something about his feeling like he's in love with this woman. So that's scary to me. Like, hopefully he doesn't get her pregnant or they go and elope or something like that. But I would say, first of all, this is your son. You have to be supportive. You have to be loving. You can't do you have to break up with her, because that's just going to make him go see her behind your back. And, that's not going to end well for anybody. So as crappy as this is, you kind of have to just be there for him, talk to him about what's going on. Hopefully you have a good enough relationship where you can talk about that kind of stuff, dating and women and stuff like that. And, just try to infuse some common sense logic into his psyche, because he's going to need it. Sounds like he's fallen pretty hard for this older woman. And, age gap isn't really as big of a deal now as it used to be. I would just be more concerned that he's just 18 and never had a girlfriend before, and he's seeing an older woman, because he's not emotionally developed if he's not had a relationship before. And an older woman is going to be emotionally developed, and she might just roll right over top of him, not literally. But that would be my worry. Like, maybe just talk to him about it, though, and try to kind of figure out where he is and give him some good advice, and just be supportive and loving as his parent. He's going to need you. He's going to need somebody to kind of rein him in a little bit. There's another long-winded answer from me. You're welcome. I can say a lot of words and not say a whole lot.
I want to hear the LuvH8trs take on this one.
Yeah, let's get some love hate happening.
Oh man,
hate on it?
Where do I start? Huh?
Go ahead.
What?
Go ahead, haterade.
Really this. This is a hard one. They're dating someone older than their mom. First of all, ew. Second of all, what kind of woman goes after a boy that could be like her son?
Cougar.
That's a cougar, but I don't know. I don't know. I have an issue. I understand being supportive of your child, and it'll play out, he'll be the boy toy for a little while, and when real life comes in and he goes away to college or something, it won't be sustainable.
Yep.
I have to let it play out. Because like you're saying, if you make it this forbidden thing, he's gonna just date her harder, so to speak. So I've been with older guys, I guess, but I wasn't 18 with
an
someone old
attitude?
enough to be my dad. Like that's just, I'm hating on this relationship too, I guess, in essence. I just don't think it's anything sustainable. Maybe have a good time while you can. And then, it seems like the mom doesn't have an issue with it because she said, well, she isn't his teacher or anything. They appear to be genuinely in love. So she's on board. So go ahead, more power to you then. Just let it play out, be supportive, whatever. Befriend the mom. She's your age. You guys could hang out.
Yeah.
Befriend the mom. I mean the girlfriend. She's the mom's age.
I know. She doesn't mention if she has children too. Could you imagine? Ugh.
That'd be weird.
I don't understand situations like that. Just seems kind of creepy, I guess.
Because like at 18, you think you're an adult. You think you got your stuff together. You don't know jack about the world or emotions or, anything. And it's probably really flattering that this chick, was like, hey,
yeah.
let's date. And I'm an older woman, older than your mom. Could you imagine? Oh God. But yeah. I like you said, just try to be as welcoming as you can and then be there to pick up the pieces when it inevitably fails, because it's not going to go great. I imagine if he commits to her long term, it's probably going to ruin his life and he's going to feel like he missed out on a bunch of opportunities because this chick has already obviously probably done them, right? I mean, she's probably traveled and gone to school and, done all the things. Not cool.
But yeah, when you're in different places in your life like that, like he's not even really an adult yet. Like he's just in a totally different headspace. He would be missing out on, those early 20s and he can't even drink yet.
Could get his girlfriend to pull out for him.
Yeah. He could.
Yeah, and then if the police get called, he can say it's his mom that bought him the alcohol. I'm sorry, that was a bad joke.
No, that was warranted, but it still stings.
Who's the hater now, huh?
Ooh.
Just kidding. Sometimes it's just can't hold it in anymore, I guess.
Let the hate flow through you.
All right. My friend is dating this really rich guy who is a possessive jerk. So I told her straight up, I won't hang out with you and your boyfriend. They have caused a lot of drama among our circle of friends, and I just don't like him or her when she is with him. However, she stalks my Facebook, sees when I'm going out with my family, and invites herself along. She is a great friend, and I love her. I just don't know how to handle all the drama of the situation with the boyfriend.
Where do we start?
Somebody want to tell me what type of person the boyfriend potentially could be? One guess.
Narcissist all the way.
You got it.
Guaranteed. Mm-hmm. Possessive, jerk, and he's rich. Yep.
Would I be remiss in saying that being this strong in your opposition is just going to kind of push her back toward the narcissist?
Sort of. I still can't get over the fact that the friend sees when she's going out with her family and invites herself along.
That is weird.
That's super weird to me. I don't know. Anytime somebody shows up who's a narcissist or just a drama factory, I just get the hell away from them. I mean, that's really the key. I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong telling her friend that she won't hang with her and her boyfriend. There's a good way and a bad way to do that, but you should probably talk to your friend about her boyfriend being a POS, right? Out of love, tell your friend, this guy's not good. He's causing drama with your friends. I don't like hanging out with him, all that stuff. But then again, it seems like her and her friend have some weird boundary issues too. Inviting herself along with their family and stuff. That just strikes me as really odd. I don't know what kind of relationship they have, but that's not one that I've had with anybody. Is it like a girl thing, maybe? You guys have friends that stalk you and invite themselves along to your stuff?
Can't say I do. And I wouldn't do that to somebody. I just feel like that's rude, but maybe they are on another level. Maybe it's like they don't care.
Possible. It just seems really odd, but
yeah, I don't know. I guess I would just level with the friend. Like I've had friends that are in relationships where I don't think it's good for them. I mean, I'm very supportive of them, but I do voice my concern, not repeatedly or anything. I just say it once and then I'm there and then I help them pick up the pieces when it falls apart, because it always does. But it's kind of going back to what we said earlier about, being dead set against their relationship is not going to be good, because it just pushes them back to that person, because they're going to get defensive. because they have feelings for them. They're gonna be like, oh, you don't know him like I do. He's not that bad. And, you know, we have good times and whatever, you know, those lies you tell yourself all the time. And she does care for her friend greatly. So I would just be there to support her. You know, I would distance myself because there's so much drama. And with a narcissist, you're never going to make a clean break from a person like that. And you can never make sense of anything with them either. They're not going to listen to you. If you try to give them advice or try to better them, they're not going to, because they're always right. I would definitely do that. Just distance myself, be supportive, and let her know your outside perspective. You're more objective. When these narcissists are everywhere, it's hard to get away from them.
They're like cockroaches.
They prey on these nice people.
It's like a pandemic.
It's like they find these really nice, giving people and they take advantage and, you know, just make their life such a mess. It's really unfortunate. Just brought the mood way down.
With your love hate.
I sure did. That's my job today, apparently. I'll just come in and ruin everything and drop it all down and then leave. That'll be it.
Carpet bomb and then just leave everybody else to the reconstruction.
Exactly. That's what I do now.
You know what I thought was interesting too is the fact that she said she invites herself along. She didn't say that she brings Rich Jerk Guy along. That's kind of interesting that he doesn't require that he comes with her to this stuff too, or maybe he's just not available.
Yeah.
Maybe he just texts her every 5 seconds.
Ugh.
That's what I was gonna say. He probably calls her every 5 minutes, like, who are you with? What are you doing? Where are you, creepers? But some of us have to learn the hard way. I know I did. I didn't listen to anybody. I just continued to follow my feelings, you know, like an immature little girl until I grew up. And then I was like, what am I doing? This is insane. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. You know, that was my life. Totally insane.
This one says, my boyfriend has posted his profile on a dating website in the hope of finding some new friends. There's a weird way to find friends. I am frequently out of town on business. There's another one. And he has decided that he would like to converse with artsy people during the week while I'm away. He claims this website is the only way to meet like-minded people. While I don't mind his wanting to meet people, I feel that using a dating website is inappropriate. You're absolutely right, it is. I read his profile. In it, he indicates that he is single. So yeah, there's your proof. He's obviously cheating on you when you're out of town. He promises he will tell the woman he meets that he is not single when and if the topic comes up. Wow, and you're still dating him long enough to even write this? I think it's wrong to meet people based on a lie. He swears he would never cheat on me. How can I convince him that this is a form of cheating and that it's disrespectful to me? You should have broken up with him in the first paragraph. I don't know what took you so long to get down to this other stuff. Oh my God, I can't believe that this is happening. This is one of those things where like your feelings are clouding your judgment to the point where if you took a step back and read your own question, you would see how ridiculous this sounds. Like your boyfriend trying to make you believe that he's just trying to meet artsy people. Like he's hooking up with people when you're out of town. Obviously, feels like a bad Shaggy song. He's gonna tell you it wasn't him when you walk in and find him banging some girl on the couch. Just break up with him. He's gotta be a POS if he will tell you to your face that he's on a dating website for these reasons. You don't want any part of this crap anymore. You're absolutely better than that.
And it's not her job to convince him that that it's wrong. Like, you don't. He doesn't get it. Like, how many red flags are there? It's pretty shocking.
Yeah.
And poor thing, you go out of town and he's just messing around behind your back. A dating website's for dating. That's why it's called a dating website. It's not, and then he puts himself single. Okay. Well, yeah, you are now. Get out.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't understand, but you're absolutely right. That's one of those things. You care about the person. You want to believe their intentions are good. You want to believe they love you and they really care and they didn't really mean to do that. But if their friend were to come to them and tell them this whole story, things would be a lot different.
Yeah.
That's just sad that this person got to the point where they're, still trying to make it work, even though they're doing it right in front of their face and trying to justify it. That's really sad. I feel bad for this person.
Yeah, me too. They're obviously very kind and they're trying to be understanding of somebody that's just a bag of douche,
Mm-hmm. Makes me want to just find this guy, just catfish him or something. Yeah. Go slap him a couple of times. Be like, you have a good thing going. What is wrong with you? If you can't hang, then get out. Why do you have to mess around?
If he wants to date around and be single, he should have broken up with her.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why people do that. Just cause more damage.
And is the website Ashley Madison, if that's still up? Sorry. I mean,
he's like, I go on Tinder to meet friends.
Yeah.
Friends, artsy friends.
All the ways. Yeah. Could you imagine?
Artsy Lord. People? What does that even mean? Oh,
that's
yeah.
What I was going to say.
Dating website.
What is that a euphemism for?
Yeah.
Women that like to get down? Yeah.
Women who.
I'm a suture or what?
Yeah.
Maybe he's an amateur photographer and they're naked. That's what it sounds like.
Yuck.
Could be. Yeah, and I don't think you can do any amount of talking that would teach him how to treat a woman with respect.
No,
if he's sound like it's gonna happen.
If he's confident enough to tell her all of this crap and try to justify it, get out of here. You're never convincing him. He's never coming back. He's gonna be like this. And let him be like that without you. You could find somebody that's not gonna. There are plenty of guys that aren't doing this kind of crap.
Yeah. And why do we think that? Like, why do we get on that trip of like, well, this is the best it's gonna get for me? You know what I mean? Like, then we settle and we put up with crap like this. I don't know why we do that, but we do.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's happened to all of us at one point. You know, you're like, well, I care about this person. Yeah. And you're like, I guess this is it for me. It doesn't get any better than this. So I got to just put up with it. I don't know. But now I'm like, I'd rather be by myself than with somebody like that. That's just,
yeah,
it's not worth it.
It's too much. And why, number one, there are 100 other ways to meet people on the internet than just dating websites. I hate to break it to you.
Yeah, it's the internet. There's infinite ways to meet people. God.
And number two, why just women? Like, that is so suspect. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, but he'll tell them that he's actually not single when it comes up.
If it comes up.
Oh yeah. When and if the topic comes up. That's right.
Because I too go on dating websites to meet guys because I'm artsy. And I'm not really sure if I care if they're in a relationship or not. Good Lord, who does that?
Yeah, that's not a
no
thing.
One. Yeah, this dude, just shut it down. Shut it down. You'll have, it sounds like you've got a really good job and you'd have more disposable income if you don't have to deal with this guy. Buy yourself a really nice pair of shoes to celebrate, right?
Yeah.
Or a purse, whatever your thing is.
Yeah, fancy purse.
There you go.
Problem dating solved. Websites.
I mean, come on. Come on. Like, I have no words. Sorry.
Well, and I think we've all probably dated somebody like this, that they're like, I'm trying to screw you over, but I'm going to have a really good reason for it. And I'm going to make you sound like you're crazy if you dare question me. Yeah, this is unacceptable. I'm sorry.
Run away.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
Loser. Sorry. Whose question? Do we know?
You.
Okay. All right. The question is, why do I keep attracting jerks or guys who lose interest quickly? I don't know. You tell me. I'm just kidding.
Why does it have to be a you problem?
I think this is a universal issue. It pretty much, I mean, the population of jerks out there seems to be growing, you know, like they need to be like, what is the controlled hunting or something like that? Like they do with deer. Sorry. I'm not condoning shooting jerks.
Open season. I think this really boils down to the guys that are jerks and lose interest quickly happen to, by nature, be confident enough to go out and find a lot of different women. It's not you, it's just they're looking for quantity over quality. They know they're going to lose interest, or they know that it's not going to last, and they're just like, oh, whatever, I'll shoot my shot. And, if you're kind, you're going to at least date them for a little bit. Just maybe guard yourself a little bit more. Have a better vetting process. Do the friend thing. Like, oh, I'll have my friend meet them. And then your friend can be like, oh, this guy's a jerk. Don't talk to him anymore. And then there you go. But I really do think don't look at yourself as being the reason that this happens. It's not like you're not like a jerk magnet. That's not a thing.
I agree. Like, those are the guys that, oh my gosh, they'll talk to anybody. They'll approach any female, and if you appear nice and approachable or whatever, then you're fair game. You're not attracting them, but like they see you and they're gonna come after you. It's just the way they are. And yeah, they're gonna be more not approachable, but they're gonna be more apt to approach you because they don't care. They are a little bit too cocky and puffed up. Whereas, a nice guy may take him a little while, or he may be, afraid of getting rejected or something like that. So you're not going to get as many of those people probably coming after you like the jerks are. So be very selective. Don't let it get too far, because then otherwise you'll start justifying their stepping out on you while you're out on your business trips and stuff like that. So just keep your head about you. Be careful. It's rough out there, and there are a lot of jerks, unfortunately, and just because someone's interested in you doesn't mean you need to give them a chance. It's good. They got to have a lot more than that going on to get into your world. So
true. And advice from a veteran in the dating world. If he's the guy that comes up to you at where you work and asks for your number, or at the club immediately wants your number, or whatever, as flattering as that is, he's probably this guy, more than likely. So don't buy into that flattery. Oh, you're the most beautiful person in the room, or hey, you have pretty eyes, while you're serving him French fries, or ringing up his clothing or whatever. I mean, it's a numbers game to these dudes. Like you said, they date in volume. They're not in it, for the long term. So yeah, give him a fake phone number and just write it off.
Give him the rejection hotline number.
Oh yeah. We should put that we'll put that in the show notes.
Yeah, I used to have that number, but I don't have it anymore. It's pretty funny. Give it a try yourself if you can find it and call it. It's just like a pre-recorded message. It tells you suck.
You were pretty nice on that one, LuvH8tr.
I'm trying to be a little softer.
You're losing.
Trying not to be so mean on every question. I've just been through some stuff, and you get to that point where you're just like, life is too short to put up with this crap anymore. And these poor girls, I just feel for them, because I was them, the justifier, and I was the chick that would stay no matter what, but that's not always the right thing to do. But I get it.
No, I totally do too. I was the girl that didn't know how to say no to a date. I was afraid of hurting people's feelings, and that's awful. It doesn't turn out well. How many times you asked out by somebody that's a good match? Probably about 30% of the time.
That's generous.
Right.
Yeah, I haven't really dated a whole lot of like good guys, I guess. I think it's lower than 30% for me.
I can think of one that I dated that was really, really great.
We all attract jerks, apparently, so you're not alone, whoever wrote this question.
Yeah, it's just a thing. Like I said, it's the population and the volume dating, like Tony brought up. I mean, they date everybody.
That's just who they are by nature.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're so confident when they come up and talk to you is because they do it a lot. You got to see it for what it is. Don't just be flattered that someone's interested in you. I've been down that road. It's not it doesn't end well that way.
No, I mean, you can ride the high for a couple of days. Because guess what, guys? I'll call Sasha up and be like, guess what? This dude asked me for my phone number in Dollar Tree. He
was like, girl, I'll get you any of these snacks. They're $1.
Only $1. But I'm not going to go out with him, And I'm using Sasha's story, not mine. I've never been asked out in Dollar Tree.
I don't know why that keeps happening to me. It's happened like 2-3 times. They're like, hey girl, what's up? And I'm like,
they're like, a girl is good with her money.
I guess.
Yeah, frugal. It's the new sexy.
That's right. You got coupons, girl?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
My kind of woman handles a business.
That's right.
You can have all this aisle. Because I got
gosh.
what is it, the Washingtons?
That's right.
Oh my gosh.
All
Funny.
right, last question. Drum roll.
How do I avoid worrying over being a single 30-year-old woman and come to terms with being single? All my friends are married or in long-term relationships, and I feel like there's something wrong with me. Please help. This is tough, but it's kind of been an underlying theme of a lot of our answers. You need to be okay with yourself. You don't need to be in a relationship. You don't need to have somebody come and rescue you. You don't need to have a better half or another half. You are a whole person. And you got to be okay with that. Be an independent individual. If you find somebody that you like spending time with that compliments you, awesome. Don't judge your position by your friends who are 30 somethings and in long-term relationships that are going to fail or marriages that are going to end in divorce, because you don't know what goes on there either. People are going to put their best foot forward for you, try to look like they're super happy in their relationships. But the key is be your own person and be okay with being your own person, because you don't need someone else. You want to make the choice to spend time with someone else that you enjoy being with and who enjoys being with you. You know, that's really the bottom line. You know, have some self-confidence, some self-respect. Don't get crazy and start asking what guys even bring to the table anymore. But you should be confident in yourself. You know, you have a lot to offer. You're a good person, you know, whatever the case is, you got a good job or a good career, you have your stuff together. That's awesome. Be confident in that. Don't be down on yourself. It's not something wrong with you.
Yeah. And I can understand, you know, the friends and the people in their life are all, you know, married or whatever. That can be hard, but you know what? There's a lot of people out there like you too, and you can find those people and support each other. And it is hard when you're friends with people for a long time and you see them going off and getting married and having kids, and your life just doesn't fit that mold like theirs does. And that's okay. Yeah, I totally agree with Tony. Like you can be fine on your own. Like you don't need a person, and thank God you didn't settle for someone not worthy of you, you know, and you didn't get into a big old mess. And maybe you are married to be in a long-term relationship now, and maybe you're ready to put yourself out there and look for someone, and that's cool too. Either way is fine, and everyone's different, and you can't expect yourself to be like everyone else or all of your friends or, you know, whoever you're comparing yourself to, because there's nothing wrong with you and you shouldn't feel that way. I know it's no one can tell you how to feel, but I just really hope this person can look at their life and see the positive things and the fullness of it, you know, even being single, because there's peace in that. And there's a good sense of accomplishment, you know, to doing things on your own. And, you know, no one helped you. Sometimes you just have to do that. Sometimes your life looks that way, and that's okay. No, you can handle a lot. Obviously, you're a functioning adult at 30. So good for you. Keep it up. You're strong, and don't let anyone take that power and that confidence from you. Keep on keeping on. That person probably isn't even listening to a word I'm saying. They're never going to hear it. But you know what? Anyone who feels that way, that's for you. And we love you.
Brought the love.
Love hater.
We need balance.
Beautiful.
Aw. Yeah, I mean, and it's funny because I don't know why 30 is like the age. You're like, oh my gosh, I need to marry the next man that walks through the door right now. You know,
yeah,
regardless of whether he's the garbage man or, you know, I don't know.
figuratively or literally.
Yes. You know. Or the guy that's an hour late for your date, and you're like, I'm going to marry him because I'm 30. But yeah, I mean, being single has so many stinking advantages. I mean, take advantage of all of that, live it up, travel, watch
Yeah.
TV when you want, eat
Oh
what
my
you want,
gosh.
drink milk out of the carton.
It's
There's
beautiful,
like-
guys. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and it's like when you're single, you want to be with somebody. When you're married, you wish you were single. It's like the grass is always greener, but there's positives to be had in every situation. You just have to look for those. And if you do want to be with a person, that's good, work towards that, but enjoy where you're at in the moment for what it is. Because when that's gone, you're gonna miss that. You're gonna miss, just eating popcorn for dinner or watching the movies you like, or, just going out and doing whatever you want to do. All that'll be gone. You'll have to consider someone else, and it'll be good, but it'll be different. So yeah, just learn to love where you're at. I'm trying to learn that myself. So I get it.
And I'm going to add too, learn who you're compatible with in the meantime. It's a matter of like not choosing whoever's interested, but choosing the right kind of person. And it's nice when you're single and you got nowhere to go and you can take your time. There's no rush. There's no time limit. I mean, people are having babies and almost 50 now. So, and it's, if that's your worry, oh my gosh, Tony's making faces. You do not have to have babies into your 50s, Tony.
I'm not going to have babies when I'm 50. I will collapse. I'm tired enough as it is. No.
Just pull a Hugh Hefner and, have them when you're 80 or whatever.
Nope.
Who the heck would want to have yuck. Yuck. Why was that guy so attractive to people?
If you're rich, you're attractive to certain type of.
Yep.
Good Lord.
I ain't saying she's a gold digger.
Oh my gosh. I think it was Maid of Honor with Patrick Dempsey. They played that when his dad walks down the aisle with this blonde chick, and she's the trashiest thing in the world. Good Lord. All right. Do you think we solved the world's ills of the heart today?
Yeah, I mean, for today. There'll be more tomorrow, though. We'll get that.
Yeah. And we'll be back.
With more tough love.
Guess who's back? Back again. Sasha's back. Hating everything. Thanks for riding with us on this crazy train and not losing your schnitzel. If you want to hear more of our wildly unqualified advice, send your story to us on Twitter at Sincerely Tactless or email us at sincerelytactlesspod@gmail.com. Until next time, stay Oberaffengeil, Deutschland. Tschüss.
Oh my gosh. I don't want to get that reputation.
No, you don't. We just like to tease you.
I know. I really don't hate everything, I promise.